as a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
What's cracking, everybody? What is going on today? We are here for the week 6. We're going to look into sleepers this week, tertiary plays in every single matchup. We're going to go through it real quick. I got my guy Andrew here for the first time, finally joining the show. What's up, Andrew? How we doing? Let everyone know where they can find you and what you got going on, man.
Well, you will find me doing the Cardinals Uncovered podcast. Hey, there's our big sparkly ball.
He made it in.
It's like Lance Armstrong if you dipped him in glitter. Just one big sparkly ball.
My helmet should be here soon, man. I'm excited.
Actually, I'm waiting on mine too. I think I had a little bit of a problem with the Postal Service out here, but I won't go into it any further than that. But so as a matter of fact, I got one of those too. I just need to actually have it come. But I think it's more of a technical issue. So,
right.
Anyway, I do the Cardinals Uncovered podcast, part of the Undroppables. We're going to be bringing that back up this weekend after a little bit of time away, just because we had a lot of things going on, outside of the hash marks, if you will. And
nice.
Bring it all back and get things back the way they should be. So we're going to come back after a little stint on injured reserve and try and figure out why it is Arizona can only beat NFC West teams.
Where do I find the Cardinals Uncovered podcast at?
You'll find that it's part of the Undroppables, and we can drop a link in on that. It's on YouTube, and we can certainly find a link and drop it on in and let you guys know where it is.
Shoot me that in the private chat, and I'll drop it on there for you.
Will do. Thanks, sir.
The man, the myth, the legend, Big Draft Energy made it. What's good, brother? Let the people know what's going on. Get that Toronto Raptors hat out of here, bro.
What do you mean, bro? I don't know if you see, like, back there, we got the Toronto Raptors signed, like, banner when they won the championship.
I'm a Bulls fan. I got this guy wearing an Arizona Cardinals hat. I'm a 49er fan. Jesus.
Listen, Fred Durst, you invited me here, okay? Be good. Can I just say that Andrew is one of my favorite human beings on the planet, and it's such a pleasure and honor to be here again.
He's finally here.
But I don't have any candy. I don't have any gushers. None of that. I got a serious question for both of you guys right now. Okay, Sleaze, you answer first. All right. There's 100 dicks on the wall. How many of them do you choke on?
There's 100 dicks on the wall. How many of them do you choke on? This seems like a fucking stupid question. Get me to answer them.
How many of those 100 dicks do you choke on, Sleaze?
I'm gonna go with none.
I knew you were a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a pro.
No, the correct answer is none because they never enter your face. None because they never enter your face.
Yeah.
That's the right answer.
None because you're a pro. Sweet. You don't choke on any. Awesome. Amazing. I'm here for it. Let's go.
All right, let the people know what you got going on, where they can find you, BDE. Let them know what's good. What's new with you? What's happening?
Is it Disco After Dark yet? It's Big Draft Energy.
This is
everywhere.
Friday.
It's Big Draft Energy everywhere. You can sub. You don't have to sub. But, I mean, we make some calls. We hit some calls. We also make some dumb calls, and we miss some dumb calls. But, hey, man, it's been going pretty good so far. No complaints on my end.
So, guys, if you're in chat, the link for both of them is in the description. Andrew's Twitter is in there. I do not have. If you want to drop the YouTube in the private chat, Andrew, you can. I'll drop that in there for him. And Big Draft Energy's YouTube as well is linked in there, too. What's up, Nate? How we doing, brother? Sports Addict, my guy. I'm about to get a beer, bro. How's your Friday going? I did not get it wrong. I had to think about it for a second. I thought it was going to be something dumb, so I was looking for a weird answer on it. Nate says I got offered Jaden Reed and Drake London for Drake London. Dude, I'm keeping Jaden Reed all year long. I think he's going to be a top 5, top 10 wide receiver for the Packers. But I like London too. So, I mean, if you like that, go for it. Who would you guys rather have, Reed or London the rest of the season?
London.
Ooh, London. Oh, see, I'm on the Reed side. But there you go. They're going London. Here we go. I got the link right here. If you guys want to check out the Undroppables YouTube that Andrew hosts here for I think it's a Cardinals podcast, right?
That is correct. And we've been on a little bit of an IR stint lately, so we're going to be coming back up with a real solid episode this weekend. And, God, I hope we beat Green Bay because we need a win. I mean, it was nice to get one last week. Who was that again?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
you got to watch that live in color and in person, no less there, Mr. Sleaze. So
our kicker show was fucking down, dude. I don't want to talk about it. I turned all the bells on for Undroppables. Already subscribed. Got you.
Yep.
All right, so what we're doing here, chat, is we're just going to go over matchups here, look for tertiary plays, see what pick'ems we like. But I'm mainly looking for deep sleeper plays in these picks here in this. So if you guys want to lead it off here, I know we didn't even get through all the games yesterday because there's so many questions going. We can do that too if you guys want to cover the rest of the games. But I'm down to look for the sleeper play in each game for pick'ems here is what I'm trying to do and build a what would you call it, safety play card here with some weird calls.
So sorry, you want a sleeper or you want like a fun pick'em ticket?
Like the tertiary plays for each play, like a sleeper play that you think is going to hit for each game. That's what we're looking for here. And stardom sit-ems that, start sits.
Okay, cool. Game 1, Rome Adunze. Either Rome Adunze or Keenan Allen, longest reception.
I have a lot of cards with his Keenan Allen receptions. I think he's going over 4.5.
Yeah, I also like. I'm going to go with Rome Adunze's receiving yards, 38.5. I think he smashes that this week.
Okay.
That seems like a number he should be able to hit. And it's like the Bears should finally be able to do something a little more over there. So, I think that's a pretty decent one. I would go with that too.
It's the bare minimum.
The bare minimum. Okay. I think my tertiary play, I just dropped my sleeper video, is Keenan Allen receptions. I'm like locked in that he's going over 4.5 in this game. I mean, he saw 60% snaps and 80% snaps, got 6 targets last week. He's coming back healthy. I think he's going to feast on 4.5 targets.
Yeah, I'm going to go really low on this bet now, Sweet.
Really low on it?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to take Rome Keenan receptions. Okay. Any fantasy football plays that are sleeper plays you like from this game at all?
Thank you for putting that on the board.
I mean, it's going to be a high. I think it could be a high scoring game kind of here, even though I like the Bears D. But do you like Cole Kmet at all at tight end?
No, I like Roschon Johnson for an anytime touchdown.
Mm-hmm. I like that as well.
Yeah,
I think Roschon's a great sleeper play.
Say ATN's receiving yards at 16.5 seems really low.
Oh, okay. Let me look at this. ETN. 16.5.
Yeah, that to me feels like it should. Feels like it's a little bit on the lower side, especially with the way Trevor Lawrence can actually dump the ball off and get the running back going there. 16.5 does not seem like a real hard number for him to beat.
Well, I mean, on average, I think you're onto something. The Bears give up 26.20 receiving yards to the running back position on a per game basis. And I'm anticipating Travis Etienne, because when Travis Etienne's in London,
he ball.
He's a different person, right? So I'm banking on that as well. So I like that bet, buddy.
What's up, Dan? Okay, so building a 3-piece here. Nate says I seen Rachaad White doubtful. How much does Bucky move up in the ranks? He moves up a lot for me, man. So the plus side here for me, or actually I'll let you guys take this way. Where are you guys putting Bucky now that Rachaad is out? And doubtful's pretty much out. It's like 90% out. So I don't know why they even say doubtful.
He's a great DFS play in a really bad matchup. It's still a very plus matchup for Chris Godwin and Chris Godwin alone. Like, it doesn't really change much. I wasn't invested when it was Rachaad White, so I'm not invested when it's Bucky Irving. I mean, Bucky Irving is a little bit more of an explosive athlete, so he can make plays happen. But the only player who I'm really interested in is DFS wise, starting wise, like anything in general, is Chris Godwin on the program right now.
Yeah, I think that Bucky Irving should have a decent week, but he's not going to be a guy that you're just going to sit there and watch him just completely blow up and destroy the Saints. So, if you get a point per carry or part of a point per carry, you might get a little extra out of there. But it also kind of remains to be seen, how much do you actually add in the receiving game, which is what Rachaad White's bread and butter has been the last couple of years, because Rachaad White's been a grossly inefficient runner, especially between the tackles. But you get him out in the flat and toss of the ball, Rachaad White makes things happen. You don't really get that a whole lot with Bucky Irving.
The Saints do give up a ton of receptions to the running back, though, right, Disco? If you look at your sheet, this should be like a smash Bucky Irving receiving game for me. That's what I'm looking at here. But I also think when I'm looking at it that, if Rattler's out there in his first game, there could be a lot more volume for the Tampa run game here as well, too. If Rattler starts to struggle, it doesn't look good.
The Saints give up 4.2 receptions. They're like one of the top 12 teams in the league. They're one of the better teams against defending the receptions.
Okay.
It's the receiving yards where it's
No, that's what I'm looking at. So
the receiving
outlier?
yards, it's 35, which is a much better opportunity, but still middle of the pack. It's not bad. It's not great. It's just one of those things where it's not advantageous whatsoever.
You don't like the 18.5?
It's not advantageous.
Okay, so it's not one of the outliers. Got you. What's up, KJ? He says, better flex play Mike Evans or Zach Moss. Dude, that's getting too cute. I'm still going Mike Evans, although I don't like it versus Lattimore. But
Yeah,
what do you guys think? Who are you taking?
I'm going with Evans because even though Moss got the clear after a full practice earlier today, and Moss didn't practice on Wednesday, I would still rather go with Mike Evans just because Mike Evans is one of those guys who's incredibly boring, but he gets the job done. I mean, how many seasons has Mike Evans been in the league? How many seasons has he had 1,000 yards receiving? Why are those two things the same number? Because they are. It's to me, I don't get too cute with it. Just simply go with Mike Evans because you know he's going to definitely get his targets, and you don't know what the workload is between Chase Brown and Zach Moss out there in Cincinnati.
This is one of those dumb things. It's like a Boston Scott scenario where it's like whenever Mike Evans plays Marshawn Lattimore, he gets ejected, right?
Right, which is crazy.
What kind of production are you going to see prior to him getting ejected? That is what you're betting on, because even if it's 1 quarter's worth of production, it's still a higher ceiling than Zach Moss in an entire slate. So I'm leaning towards Mike Evans. Hopefully this is the game he doesn't get ejected and we get to see him play a full game against Marshawn Lattimore where it's more football than, like pitter patter, get at her. It's kind of weird, man. Just play football.
He said literally like 3 times in interviews that he just gets under his skin and he just pisses him off. So that is the scary thing for me is the ejection. But I mean, I think Chase Brown looks more explosive than Zach Moss. And I think even with the injury, I know he practiced in full. That's fine. I still think Zach Moss or Chase Brown's going to get more work. He just looks like the better running back.
Always Chase Brown, sir.
It was always Chase Brown. I agree. Sports Addict, the gambling guy. If you guys shout out to him, if you have not checked out his Twitter, he does tons of work with Discord, tons of stuff with the community betting wise. Great follow as well. Make sure you check out the Sports Addict Network. He says Gabe Davis over 2.5 at plus 100 looks good. I never trust the goose egg Gabe, man. Do you guys ever trust Gabe Davis for 3 catches?
He's one of those guys where it's like when you bet on him, he misses. When you don't bet on him, he hits. It's kind of like I'm sick and tired of Gabe Davis. I see him in basketball. I see him in DFS. I see him in props, and I just ignore it. I mean, like it very well could hit though. It's not a bad call.
Yeah, it's one of those where Gabe Davis, like you said, I mean, you get the spike weeks where he scores you like 18 fantasy points. And you get a lot of weeks where he scores you his jersey number, 0 fantasy points.
Right.
When I go over 2.5 receptions, it's not a terribly high bar, but at the same time, it's also Jacksonville. And they finally maybe figured something out last week after losing 9 of their last 10. I'm staying away from it this week. I want to see if Trevor Lawrence actually does something.
I mean, everyone kind of gets right on the Colts. That defense is terrible.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Bears' defense is going to be a significantly different challenge as opposed to Indianapolis.
Can I say that I feel like this game's an absolute trap? Like if you're betting on the Bears to win, I would reconsider.
Oh, man, I like the Bears to stomp this game for some reason.
Yeah, I got Jags.
I know the Jags are London's sweetheart, so I mean,
it's not even that. It's like this team is so much better than what they've been performing like, and I feel like all they needed was a win. All they needed was a win, and Travis Etienne, he's going to have a game, and when he finally has a game, man, shit.
You think Evan Ingram's going to be the glue that helps them back in this game, but back in the season?
I don't think Evan Ingram's going to have much significance in this game, but the Jags are only 1-point dogs.
Right.
So the spread isn't as it's not as big of an underdog theory as we had alluded to, or I had thought about. Man, I like the Jags not just covering the spread. I like them straight up money line. I even got them by 3.
Okay, I like the Bears in this game. Who do you like in that game, Andrew?
I like Chicago just because they've actually won a couple of games this season. And like Jacksonville, I'm not terribly thrilled about them so far, but I'm going to lean towards Chicago on that one. And I think they cover the point that they're the favorite.
Got you. I agree. I think that defense is going to be nightmares for Trevor Lawrence, but I mean, he started to find a little rhythm, so they could be, but man, the Colts are so bad. I don't give him all the credit yet. He's got to prove it to me against a good defense. We got to catch up with chat here. Sam says, "What are your thoughts on Ayuk rest of the season?" I love Ayuk, man. I'm trying to buy him everywhere right now. I have no problem, but I'm not even trying to send the first pick in Dynasty for him right now in our community first. I'm not getting any traction.
Yeah,
you guys like Ayuk the rest of the way?
When you need the reps to be a significant player in the NFL and you miss it all for contract dispute, you lose all value and credibility on the field. I'm completely out on him this year. I was also out on him last night. Let that be known. And next year, I think he's going to be at the perfect best ball spot for you to buy him. And like, I just need to clip this and remind myself to get as much Ayuk and
clip it.
Buy the dip as much as humanly possible.
I agree. What do you think? You like Ayuk rest of the way, Andrew?
Not a whole lot, just because, I mean, even in last night's game, I mean, who had more targets, Brandon Ayuk or Jawan Jennings? It wasn't.
Jawan Jennings got a lot of looks.
Yeah, Jennings had 5. Ayuk only had 4. It's like they're not utilizing Ayuk in the same way that you thought they were before the season started. So there's some games where he's going to do pretty well. Some games where get lost in the shuffle. It's not like Gabe Davis, but it's kind of in the same general ballpark. You never quite know what you're going to get out of him. So that's why I'm standing, more like arm's length away from him and like, maybe as a spot start on a bye week. I mean, Ayuk's got the talent, but it's just the way the Niners run their offense. You never know what you're going to get out of it.
I look at it like you got Debo and Kittle, who both are very injury prone and getting older. So that's why I'm trying to acquire Ayuk a ton.
Let's look at it this way: out of 6 games, a couple games with Debo being out, game with Kittle being out, all games with CMC being out, he's only hit double figures once in the 6 games, right? So it's kind of like it's one of those things where it's like he's gonna spike. How do we project for his spike so we could put it in your redraft lineups? We don't know. And like, what are you gonna give up for it to get an Ayuk? And I feel like I'm not willing to pay that price.
I agree. Well, I mean, I'm still trying to acquire him season long though. I think the value is just too cheap right now. I mean, I love it.
So humor me. Buy cheap. What do you think you can give up to get Ayuk?
Dynasty wise, I think you might be able to use a high second. And I think that's worth it for 3 years than anything you're going to get in the draft. Because, I mean, look at the tweet I just posted today. Like, all the 2nd and 3rd round picks, what have they done in fantasy football this year? Absolutely nothing. Like, Braylon Allen was better than every single running back you took in the 2nd and 3rd round.
Yep, and I was very high on Braylon Allen. I'm not even a dynasty guy. So, kudos to me. This goes awesome.
You are starting to get into it. KJ says, what's your projections on Ray McLeod this week? Can you all see him scoring a TD versus the Panthers? Ray, where's Bandit when I need him for Ray McLeod?
Now, this is one of those deeper tertiary guys that you want to look at because you look in the Atlanta offense. You obviously have Drake London out there as your first option. Kyle Pitts is the second option. Darnell Mooney is the third option. Ray McLeod last week had 6 catches for 66 yards. I agree. I think this is the week he finally breaks out and hits the end zone. This is the kind of sleeper you're looking for. So,
okay,
Ray, do that.
I mean, if go for it.
If there's going to be any game that somebody's going to, break out, it's this game. I like even Tyler Algier in this game. Let's be honest. But with that being said, how many DFS lineups am I going to have him in? Probably like 3% out of like my 300 lineups. I'm not starting him in any redraft dynasty whatsoever. But I do like his longest reception prop is pretty great every single week.
What's crazy is he's playing 98% of the snaps for the past 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So I mean, even short yard work, goal line work, they have him out there everywhere. And he's seeing about 6-7 targets per game, which is nuts. So I mean, he's a great sleeper play. Yeah, but at the end zone, that's tough for me. I think this is going to be more of a Bijan Algier game with how bad Carolina is versus the run. I think the Panthers or the Falcons just get up and they run away with it here. But I mean, he could. I mean, it's definitely a good conversation there with that sleeper call.
Wow, Bucky Irving shot up in the his ADP in these $3.30s.
Oh, he's up a ton. Dan says Keenan Allen, Tolbert, or Slayton at Flex God. I like all 3 of these. These are all on my sleeper video I just dropped to welcome him, man. I think I'm going Keenan, dude. I like Keenan for a big game this week. I know Disco's going to say Tolbert. What are you going to say here? You're going Slayton?
Yeah.
I like
I'm
Slayton too.
I'm also going Slayton just because Malik Neighbors is out this week. Slayton had a real nice game last week, and he was someone whom I do a little Sunday morning on Discord. I mentioned as a last-minute sleeper to pick up, and was exactly right about that one. So, yeah, I definitely
You hear him, man.
I definitely like Darius Slayton. He's one of those guys that, just like Mike Evans, it's ugly, but it works. It's fantasy football. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter how pretty it is. Just get the damn points.
Here's mine. This is the game that Wandale Robinson can also eat, and
Right.
I think like with Malik Neighbors being out, and like we saw what happened with the tight end position last week against the Cincinnati Bengals defense.
Theo Johnson.
I fucking love Theo Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I love Theo Johnson. This is like, with the amount of exposure I have to Theo Johnson, this is the breakout game I've been holding for. So I'm here for it.
I like it.
Also keep an eye on Devin Singletary's status this week too, whether the running back is in or out, because that'll definitely influence the Giants' offense. Depending on
they look so much better with Tracy.
Yeah,
Tyrone so much better
last week against Seattle when they went into Luton Field and pulled the upset and stuck the Seahawks on the gum wall.
I mean, Gray looked good too for what it's other than the fumble. He looked good.
I didn't get to see the game. I was looking at the stats, man. Tracy looked unbelievable. 129. He had an 8-yard carry. Dude, he's him. James Cook potentially out. I know he didn't practice today. We had till Monday. That's going to be such a hard call, dude. I mean, honestly, I'm playing it safe. If you have James Cook at this point, I think I'm either playing Dowdle or I'm playing Ford. I'm not playing Bigsby. I think the ETN week is here. What do you guys think?
If I have James Cook, I am holding on last minute. If Ray Davis is available,
on the wire, grab him. Yeah,
I'm going to hold them, and I'm going to keep James Cook in my lineup unless there's news early about James Cook not playing. Like, did he practice today? Because
no,
but it is also a Monday night game. So I mean, like, it's one of those things where it's like, if he's on my lineup and I have the ability to hold Ray Davis or Ty Johnson or even Braylon Allen on the other side, I'm going to hold on it for the very last moment, because like, he is a significant difference maker. And I think like Ray Davis or Ty Johnson could be significant. Braylon Allen, not so much, but like, then again, it's one of those things where it's like James Cook, he's so special, especially
it's hard not to, right?
It's hard not to hold on. I mean, even Mike Williams, if Mike Williams is available, or if a guy like I know Keon Coleman's not. Lazard shouldn't be available in your league unless it's like a
10-man,
like a 10-man or a shallow bench. But like, if Mike Williams is available, I'd pick him up. If who else is it? I just picked up Marquez Valdez-Scantling because I'm holding on for dear life
for Cook.
James Cook, yeah.
I like that. Emeka says Higgins or McLaurin. It's Terry McLaurin all the way for me. This is a massive shootout game. The Ravens give up 300 yards passing. I'm rocking Terry everywhere. Who are you guys going with, Higgins or Terry?
Scary Terry time, because that overrun on the Baltimore-Washington game is north of 50. And it's nice to see Terry McLaurin finally getting the looks and the targets, and Jaden Daniels is finally starting to connect with him. I think this is where we finally start seeing how scary Terry can be. And I think he's going to have a solid week. Don't get me wrong. Higgins should do good too. But if there's a way to start both, do it.
Yeah, right. As much as I like the numbers for Scary Terry, eventually Baltimore's defense is going to get right. And it could happen any moment now. And Scary Terry, even in the most opportunistic matchups, he's put up some dud numbers. He has me worried. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the panel, and I'm gonna ride with that. Fuck, James, I guess.
I like that. What's up, Bink? How we doing? Welcome in, my man. What's up, Albert? What's good? How we doing? I see you in there as well. Red and Gold says Bucky or Pickens. Dude, I'm going with the safe play, floor play of Bucky. Then Pickens playing 50% snaps in Arthur Smith's system. I just can't trust that guy. Who are you guys going with?
Yeah, definitely Bucky, because you know he's going to get the work. He's not going to have a whole lot of competition for it. And, I mean, you're going to be a little bit of a mess this week starting Spencer Rattler quarterback as opposed to Derek Carr, who's out. So, yeah, I'm going to lean towards Irving as just a way to run the clock and just keep the Saints on the sideline. Bucky for me.
I'm going to go Pickens. I got to go for the ceiling play here.
How about this? Let me spice it up here. What would you do here? Bucky or Tank Dell in 0.5 PPR?
Tank Dell.
Still going Bucky. I think he's still going to get the runs on it, and I still like him a little bit better than Tank. Well, I say Tank Dell. Never mind, Tank Dell. That one for.
That's the decision I'm in right now.
I was thinking Tank Bigsby, not Tank Dell.
Tank Dell, yeah.
Oh yeah, Dell definitely. Bigsby no.
No, Tank Bucky or Tank Dell. Who do you like?
Let's go Tank Dell.
Oh man, both of you? Okay. I think I'd take Bucky on that one, Red. You got 2 for 1 on that one. So Bryce says Bucky or Rico rest of season. I'm still gonna go Rico probably because Bucky's gonna be in a timeshare unless he balls out this week and takes the job.
Yeah, I mean, like Rico's had all the opportunity. He's done something with it one game, whereas like Bucky hasn't really had the opportunity. But should he get the opportunity, he should absolutely splash. I'm going to go with the guy with with the higher ceiling. I'm assuming this is a flex play regardless, and you have other options. So I'm going to go with Bucky.
Oh, okay. I like that. He says, KJ, we don't do projections. If you're on if you're on Ray, you're probably too much invested, too high on the game in general. I mean, he's been getting volume though, dude. Ray's kind of sneaky. I mean, it's crazy the volume he's seeing and the snapshot he's seeing. Red and Gold says I traded Nico for Worthy and Waddle. I'm 2 and 3. If you need it for the win, I don't like it. Definitely long term on the season. Nico is just way better. Waddle's going to get 2 back week 8. I mean, that helps, but still, I was so wrong on Nico. He is a freaking stud, man. It's crazy. Who would you guys rather have? Nico right now at 2 and 3 or Worthy and Waddle?
Worthy and Waddle.
I'm going to go with Nico just because we know what he can do. And he was on pace for a couple thousand yards before he got hurt, and we know that Stroud's definitely going to give him the targets. It's not like Stephon Diggs is eating a whole lot of the targets up out there. I would still hang on to Nico and use him for a late surge and use that to be the piece that puts you over the top.
That's what I'm thinking as well. Angel says, you guys going with Brian Thomas, Wandale Pickens, or Amari Cooper? God, he gives you a 4-banger. I'll let Disco go first on that one. Who you got?
I mean, thus far, Brian Thomas Jr. has proven to be matchup proof. He's good to find the end zone pretty much every week. I do have him as a sit this week, but amongst all the other players there, Cooper's been a bust. Pickens has been an absolute bust. Wandale hasn't made the most of his opportunity, even though this is his best opportunity. I'm going to go BTJ because, like, this guy's 6'3", 210 pounds, 4.3 40. He is a deep ball fucking freak, and he does it every fucking game. And I don't think it's going to be any different. He's got the quarterback who loves feeding receivers down. And like, I think Brian Thomas Jr., rest of the season, like, easily top 10.
Oh, yeah.
Easily top 10 wide receiver.
He's already top 10 right now.
I know. And like, people laughed at me when I called that in the offseason. So I'm here for it.
Who are you going with here, Andrew, out of the 4?
I'm also going BTJ because Amari Cooper right now averages 4 catches for maybe 20, 30 yards a game. That's not really a number that does a whole lot for me. Pickens just hasn't really felt right so far this season. I mean, the Pittsburgh offense obviously different with Justin Fields at the helm as opposed to Russell Wilson. And yeah, Wandale Robinson, if you're ever going to show up, this is the week to do it. But I don't necessarily think he will to the point where he's going to surpass Brian Thomas. So I'm going to go also with BTJ for the WIN.
Man, God, it's going to be hard for me with BTJ and the Bears. Jalen Johnson's nasty. He's starting to shadow more. If you saw last week, I mean, he liquidated Deontay Johnson. He absolutely destroyed him.
If Calvin Ridley and Will Levis can have a day against him, Brian Thomas Jr. certainly can as well.
Yeah, I know. God, I guess I'm going BTJ, but I think Wandale's going to see a ton of volume, man. I think it's going to be close, but I'm going BTJ for the touchdown upside. We all 3 agree on that. That sucks. I don't like when we all 3 agree. He says, then do I trade Bucky, Deontay Johnson, Downs for MHJ if you can afford the depth? Yes, 100%. Give me Marvin Harrison Jr. Yes.
Yeah, all day.
Yeah, in every format possible except for race to the bottom. Yeah.
That should be a quick one. Ray Bink says, Ray boomer bust. I agree. I mean, I'm not crazy about him, but it's a great sleeper talk. I was catching old film on Ray how the Steelers and San Fran used him. They use him on jet sweeps. The kid is fast. Dude, Ray is the speedster for sure. He's the punt and kick returner.
Yep, that's what I was just going to say. He also is known to return kicks too. So if you get points for that that will also help you out.
Yeah, I agree. Especially if like our SFB, Scott Fish. God, my team is so beat up. It's killing me.
Yeah, mine's just kicking ass right now. I'm 9-1 leading my division.
Are you 9-1?
9-1, and I'm ahead of my division by 1 game, and I'm only 30 points behind the leader of all the teams in Las Vegas for first place overall in scoring.
I think yesterday was the first time I got points for kick return because Debo Samuel returned one.
Yeah, dude, he popped off. I've had so with my Scott Fish team, total injuries, if you combine them all together, I've missed 27 games already, and we're week 5. So it's been fun.
The only one I've missed so far is AJ Brown, and if I had him, I'd be getting over 200. I mean, I'm still getting over 200 on a weekly basis, even without AJ Brown. You put
That's
him
nice.
in a lineup, this one's going to explode. And this could be a contender where, for those of you who don't know, if you get 13 wins, you automatically qualify for the playoffs. You play against your opponent and the median each week. So at this point, if I get 2 more sweep weeks, I'm already in the playoffs with several to go in the regular season.
I'm sitting. I took out Michael Ripe last week though, but I didn't hit the mediums. I'm in so much trouble, dude. I took Pacheco, Ingram, CMC, and Cup. So I'm just been fun. Okay, so catching up with chat here again. He says trying to make moves with Mike Evans. I see that. I think it's gonna be a tough week for Evans, but I'm still not sitting him. I mean, that's crazy. If you're on Ray, I'm guessing you're on Cousins as well, and Hubbard too. I don't like Chuba Hubbard this week, by the way. Spot start for week 12 team. I'm confident to play Evans over Ray. Yeah, not even close. He's just talking about sleeper style being on that one, by the way. Shout out from Honolulu. What's up, Wisdom? My guy is back. Welcome back, brother. I saw you in here yesterday. Good to see you in the stream again. Let's get this fucking win. I agree. I'm struggling in my big league too. Terry had been tackled at the 1 yard line 3 times this year. He has.
Last week in that 66-yard gain that Daniel he got tackled by the shoelaces
at the 1, dude.
I know, as someone who's had Terry McLaurin on a dynasty league for the last 3 years now, I'm like, oh my freaking God, can you score a touchdown?
Do you want to take him off my hands, Andrew?
He's trying to trade him. Who do you want a second for him? What do you want?
No, I don't want. You think I'm the kind of person who gives a shit about future picks? I really don't.
Emeka says drop Jay Ford for Ray Davis or Ty Johnson. I mean, if you have James Cook, I would, because I think Chubb is back next week. But if I'm playing him, no, I like Ford for a decent floor play this week over them for sure.
I think Ford still has fantasy relevance and significance. So I wouldn't really do that.
If I remember right, the window's open on Chubb, but he's not 100% ready to come back. So use Ford while you still can. And as soon as you hear Nick Chubb returns to full practice,
I'd still hold him just because injury clause either way with Chubb. I mean, God, he's so many injuries. KJ says, go ahead.
No, that's totally true. Go ahead.
He says, I have Garrett Wilson, Deontay Johnson. Cup is hurt. Picked up Juju on waivers. I don't even like picking up Juju. I think that's just bad hype. Have Mike Evans, J.K. Dobbins, Ford, Zach Moss on the bench, looking to fill the flex. Started Mason and started DeMonte. I'm going with Deontay Johnson for a big game this week versus the Falcons. They funnel passes to the wide receiver 1. I don't like Garrett versus the Bills. I think I'd like J.K. Dobbins if I had to pick one of those to flex. Who do you guys like out of Dobbins, Ford, Zach Moss?
Andrew, you go ahead, buddy. I've been jumping the gun a lot.
All right, I do agree with Deontay Johnson this week. He should be able to get another nice week of production. As for the other one, I still always like Mike Evans. That's always going to be my first choice on that one. Second one is Dobbins, just because with Moss and Chase Brown, you never know how much work they're going to get between those two. And I'm kind of, as much as it's going to be a high-scoring game, I don't necessarily know if there's enough to go around for both those running backs to be, solidly relevant. So that's why I'm kind of staying away from that.
Okay. I think the Chargers Broncos is going to be a run fest. That's why I like Dobbins. A lot of volume.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson's never sitting on the bench for me.
So is Taco Bell at 12:30 in the morning. No one's betting on that. Anyway.
Garrett Wilson. You're playing Wilson? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, this is a good one, bro. Garrett McLean. I saw this on my comments, by the way. I think I said something. I'm not sure if I did, but I'll get to it right here. Who do you guys like over MHJ and Chubb or DK and Pickens? So if you can afford to lose the running back here is kind of the thing.
Yeah, I'm taking DK and Pickens.
Who do you like here, Andrew?
Well, I don't know. Is this a redraft format or is this a dynasty format? If it's redraft, DK and Pickens. If it's dynasty, MHJ and Chubb, just because it's Marvin Harrison Jr.
I agree. I think I'm taking DK and Pickens. I mean, God, DK had 2 touchdowns last night, just fucking taken away from him, man. It was so painful. I have DK in so many leagues. It's crazy. I think I'm going DK and Pickens, although dude, Pickens right now needs Russell Wilson is what it seems like. It's not going well. 50% snaps. I mean, ugh.
Is Joe Mixon going to play this week?
It looks like it, yeah. He's practiced 2 or 3 times in a row now.
Like, is he worth picking up in these drafters $3.30 drafts?
How cheap is he?
Like, it's almost round 7 and he's still available.
Oh, you're doing the splashes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like him. I like him this week if he's out there. Wisdom says, need help 10-man league, full PPR flex spot. Slayton with Neighbors out, Eckler with B-Rob out, Dell with Miko out, or Shaheed with Carr out. I'm high on Dell this week, man.
It's confirmed Brian Robinson's out.
I was not. He's a game time decision for me. That's what I think it is.
If Brian Robinson's out, 100% I'm going with Eckler. If not, I'm going with Dell.
I like that. If Brian Robinson's out, Eckler is going to be a smash play for me as well, too, especially with the passing work that the Ravens give up.
Yep. That's where I was going to go with this thing, too. I mean, Dell's the first option. Eckler, the second one, contingent on the other one being out. And then Slayton. Spencer Rattler, when I saw him in preseason down here in Phoenix, he actually had a nice deep ball to A.T. Perry for about 60 yards, so he can definitely, fling the rock. But I'm not quite sure how it's actually going to be when, Spencer Rattler's playing, his first game, full speed in the NFL against guys who are ready to take his head off and stuff him back in the locker at Pinnacle High School, also out here in Phoenix where he played his high school ball. It's a different little kid, and I don't necessarily know how ready he is for it.
I feel like he's been humbled for what it's worth. I saw a couple of interviews. He's definitely not that same pompous, arrogant little high school prick anymore. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's learned baptism under fire. I think he's going to be a great player, and I think this is exactly what the New Orleans Saints needed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think he's going to help him, man. I said he was going to start by week 8, but I didn't think it by injury. So I mean, can't take that one. But man, I was high on Rattler. But I think Rattler's really going to hurt Shaheed, and it's really going to help Olave. Is how I look at it. Kind of like a Russell Wilson, Justin Fields switch. Like that would help Pickens.
All right, quick. Tank Dell or Joe Mixon for the flex?
Mixon.
Andrew?
Mixon. He's been one of my favorite guys for a number of years right now, and he can run it. He can also catch out the backfield. I go Mixon.
What's up, CC Inc.? Antonio Gibson with Ramon Dre out or Bigsby. I am not buying like everyone's Bigsby hype. I am still give me Antonio Gibson for the volume. He's been coming in because ETN gets hurt. And
people are on Bigsby. People are on Bigsby because he had more than 100 yards last week. They're just trying to chase the points that they had last week and say, "Oh, well, he did this last week. The potential's here this week." The reason I still pick Bigsby is because the Patriots suck. I mean, they have like no offense this year. I mean, that game between them and Miami was just dreadful last week. So I think that was a 15-10 final that induced more yawns than anything. The New England offense doesn't really have it going. I know, Disco, you're a Patriots fan. I get it. But it's at the same time,
Drake May is here, baby. The future is now. I want to see it.
I just need to see the New England offense actually perform and actually put up, say, 28, 31, 34 points on somebody before I go, hey, maybe there's some value here. They haven't done it yet. I don't see that value. I'm going Bigsby.
They're never going to perform till Javon Baker is out there.
They need a superstar playmaker, man. They just need someone. What do you think? You going Gibson or Bigsby here?
I'm going Antonio Gibson, and I love Drake May coming in. I also like the Patriots easily covering the spread this week. I also have them borderline winning +7. Shit.
What is the spread at? 7.5?
+7.
Okay. I think they cover that.
+7 flat. The over-under is 37.5. I also like the over here.
I think Drake May's going to light it up, dude. I think it's going to be nice to watch finally. Get freaking Brissett out of there. We were calling for Brissett like 2 weeks ago on Twitter, man. Get this guy out.
It's just bad to watch. Like, at the end of the day, Drake May can protect himself because he has the ability to run away.
Right. Did he rush for over 1,000 yards in 2 years at UNC?
Yeah.
So, I mean, so chat, if you guys are doing here, we are just answering questions. We're going to go over sleeper plays here per pick. So if you guys have any sleeper plays you want to throw in mid conversation, go for it. We are way behind on chat here, so I guess it's going to be a minute here to answer all these. I'm probably higher than most on that New York versus Cincy game. I like Slayton a lot in that game. Sam says MHJ or Garrett Wilson rest of the season. I like MHJ. Garrett Wilson has such tough matchups the rest of the way. It's brutal.
He's asking for the outlook of both, I believe.
Yeah, the Cardinals just need to look a little more towards Marvin Harrison Jr. and start feeding him more targets. And they also just need to get him just more involvement as opposed to handing the ball to James Conner and dumping it to Conner and trying to get Greg Dortch going. It's like this guy was
still seeing the most targets though.
Yeah, you know,
he leads the NFL in targets.
Get him the rock.
Who you going here?
I like them both. I'm leaning towards Garrett Wilson though. Just I think Aaron Rodgers is more of a reliable passer.
Well, the real question there with Garrett is that the Jets just had a change at head coach this week, and now the guy who's doing it, Jeff Ulbrich, was actually the defensive coordinator, and he's been the Jets DC for the last 3-4 seasons. So the question is, how do the Jets adjust to having a new coach?
I thought the quarterback coach was the play caller. Isn't the quarterback coach taking over the play calls now?
No,
I remember somebody else is doing the play calling, so I don't believe it's him.
Okay, I thought I read that. Maybe I missed it.
No. So the new head coach is the old defensive coordinator.
Right.
Then play caller, it's still the same play caller.
No, they cut the ties with Nathaniel Hackett.
They cut Nathaniel Hackett?
He's not calling plays anymore. No, that's been done for like 3 days.
Where is that at? Where have I been?
The Jets' new play caller is Todd Downing.
It's a quarterback coach, right?
Hold on, I'm reading here.
I thought I knew this. I thought I saw this. Jets. I'm gonna do it right now. Jets play.
Yeah, so Hackett's still on the staff there in Gotham in a reduced role. So Downing is going to be the one who does that. And
yeah, Todd Downing, the quarterback coach, is now calling plays. Yeah. I thought I read that right a long time ago. All right.
Well, I mean, has it really worked out that well? Because the Jets are 25th in scoring and 27th.
Hackett is terrible, bro. He's been needing to go for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's catch up here. Dalton says Mike Evans, J-Mo, Tyrone Tracy, or Tolbert. I'm going Mike Evans, but if there's no Singletary and we get that update before, I'm going Tyrone Tracy.
That's exactly the path I was taking too.
What do you think there, Disco? Mike Tolbert?
Evans. It's not even close.
If Singletary is out, you still going Evans over Tracy?
Correct.
Ooh, I think I like the Tracy volume better. He looks good. What's up, Chef? I sent you the link, Chef. Just waiting on you to hop in, bro. I see you in there. How you doing, man? Is London worth playing with a potential blowout to Carolina? See Mecca, this is what I think as well here too. Yes, he's worth playing, but I think it is going to be a Bijan Algier game. I really do think the Falcons just pound the shit out of him in the run game.
I think everybody gets involved. Everybody eats this week. It's going to be great.
It's one of those ways that Drake London is going to get it to be a blowout by getting. He got all of his work done in the first 22 minutes of the game, but in order to get it to be a blowout where Carolina gets pounded like that giant drum they trot on the field, Falcons are going to have to come out hot and fast and get the points up there. That's when you're making money on Drake London this week. Is probably the first half. Second half, not so much.
What's crazy is when you look at Carolina, they rank 25th versus the wide receiver. They give up 24.7, but in yards, they're a top 10 yards team. They only give up 147, which is crazy. So, I mean, if they don't find the end zone early, I think it is going to be a run game from Bijan and Algier. But, I mean, they're still startable. I'm still starting everyone. So I agree with what you're saying. I think they all get involved, yeah.
I mean, they also almost give up 2 receiving touchdowns to the wide receiver position. So, they get gashed for chunk plays. If we're talking about a chunk play monster who should find the end zone and is quickly becoming one of the best receivers in football and has Kirk Cousins favoring him, Drake London is like a kind of guy who's like top 5 easily.
1.6 is like second worst, right? They're pretty high on the touchdowns.
Yeah.
So big touchdown upside for wide receivers in that game, 100%. Gilbert, welcome in. My guy says Dak or Baker. This is Dak for me, easy. This game is at 52.5 in Vegas. It's going to be a shootout game. The Lions stuff the run. I'm going Dak 100%. Who do you guys like, Dak or Baker?
I'm going to lean towards Dak here as well.
It's a triple Dak stack, sir.
Triple Dak stack.
Triple threat.
On the main slate, he's more of a DraftKings versus FanDuel projection. If you're asking highly on, yes, he believes the top one wide receiver. What's up, Soren? He says start 2: Etienne, Olave, Bigsby, Chase Brown, Zach Moss, Amari Cooper, Jameson Williams. I am just not getting cute here. I'm going Etienne, Olave.
Olave has been a fucking bust.
You going Chase Brown over him?
Yes.
Oof. I mean, I think Rattler's going to help Olave in this one.
Yeah, see, Brown and Moss kind of offset each other a little bit. Jameson Williams is really the third option out there in Detroit. Amari Cooper, we talked about him earlier. Cooper, Party Pooper.
I want to start Amari so bad. The matchup is great, but it's just fucking Deshaun Watson.
The matchup's great, but the quarterback he sucks out there at Lake Erie. That's the problem that you have with them. So I'm going to go Etienne and Olave on that one. And yes, yo-yo to you too. Peanut butter jelly time. I just don't have my baseball bat.
Peanut butter jelly. What's up, my guy? Shout out to you, brother. How you doing tonight? Happy Friday, man. Jay Smells, full PPR. Should I trade Metcalf and Stroud for Mayfield, Mooney, and Connor? Full PPR. Should I trade Metcalf and Stroud? No way. I'm keeping DK Metcalf on this one, bro. I'm
also keeping CJ Stroud, too. He's definitely the better quarterback asset in that question. Besides, if you're talking Connors and James Conner, the clock's ticking on him to get hurt anytime now. I mean, he's had a good, solid start to the season for Arizona, but at some point he gets hurt and he misses 4 to 5 weeks like he did last year. And when he does, here comes Trey Benson. And whether James Conner sees the field again is another issue.
I agree with that 100%. Thank you for the subscription, J-Sub. Welcome to the channel, my man. Andre says, Etienne or Pollard? Dude, I'm so high on Pollard. I might be crazy. I have Pollard in my top 8 now.
I'm going to say I like Pollard overall statistically, but Etienne has a better touchdown matchup.
Yeah, the Bears are very bad versus run touchdown-wise, too.
Yeah, and you're good with both tight ends.
I agree. Ferguson or Pitts. I mean, I have them both in the top 3. Who do you like there, Andre? Etienne or Pollard?
I'm going to go Etienne because of the touchdown upside. I mean, Pollard, the taste of disappointment from last season is still lingering in my mouth a little bit about him. But he's one of those guys that I'd maybe consider as a flex, but not as a starter. And for the tight end, yeah, either of those could work. So flip a coin and go for it. I would say, you know what? Hey, why not try Pitts again this week? Because
I like Pitts.
Solid last week, getting over 500 passing yards from Coles Kirk. Might as well,
I'm riding high on Pitts this week for sure, but I had Ferguson as my 1, and then Disco talked me into Trey McBride last night to put him as my 1. So they're all 3 in my top 3. I like either one of them. What do you think of this team? Who do I start? Started Metcalf. Who should I work on? Who do you guys think? What do you think of team? Who do I start? Already started Metcalf, and what should I work on first year doing this? So you going back to your team? I got to go back and Jay Smells, pop that team in there again, man. I don't know. You got to do it one more time. He says PPR Metcalf Trout. Send me the whole team so I can see it. Pay more attention to injury at this point. Most players have some type of injury. Course ranging in severity, but range. I agree with that. Bink.
Here's that team question.
Oh, here's his team. Okay, I have Rashad White, Breece Hall, Stroud, Jordan Love, Deontay, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., McBride, Kyle Pitts, Chase Brown, Jonathan Brooks, Tank Dell, Pollard, Mecca. I think you're in a 10-man league, right? That team is absolutely stacked. If you're new to the channel here, what we do or what our response is for every 10-man team, Jay Smells, is package whatever you can to get the best position at each position. So like try and get a top tier quarterback, try and get a top tier running back, try and get a top tier wide receiver, try and get a top tier tight end because everyone in the 10 man is stacked. Hell of a fight weekend coming up. Better be versus Bible Saturday, Evans versus Lattimore Sunday. I like that. Throws it in there. It's going to be a battle between them two, bro. I think one's going to get ejected possibly again.
Sorry, Chef. It's in Community First group chat, buddy.
There you go. Go for it. If you guys got anything, you can top in anytime.
Yeah, no, I was just telling Chef that the link for the stream here, it's in Community First group chat.
Oh, yeah. Get in, Chef. Get in here.
Chef. It sounds very steak day. We need you.
It is. Patrick, what's up, my man? He says, yo, stash Warren or Juju. I'm stashing Warren. I don't buy the Juju anything off one game. I think they're going to bring in a veteran wide receiver or something here to deal with their problems as well. Current wide receivers, AJ, Godwin, Higgins, Waddle, Leggett. Current running backs, Gibbs, Pollard, Irving, Brown, Javante. Yeah, I'm stashing Warren just for the trade value. Is better either way. you're not going to get anything for Juju. I mean, what do you guys think? You keeping Warren or Juju?
Warren. Juju is only there in Kansas City just situationally, and at some point, those guys are going to start getting a little bit healthier again. So, I mean, I realize Rice is out for the season. Hollywood Brown's going to be out for a while, but Juju, I haven't really trusted a whole lot since he wore a Steelers jersey, and I don't see a real reason to trust him now.
But like, let's be honest. Michael Thomas has been out there, and he's a very viable, available free agent, and they haven't jumped the gun to go get him, right? And like,
they're winning.
Realistically speaking, Devontae Adams, the likelihood of him being traded is very slim. I know there's a lot of buzz, but the likelihood of him being traded in general is very slim, let alone to a divisional rival.
What about Hopkins?
I think that's also slim. DeAndre Hopkins says he's upset every fucking year he's ever played football. As an Arizona Cardinals fan, Andrew, I'm sure you can relate to your history with Hop. He's unpleased. He's also got damaged knees. Like, he wants to go to a winner. The moment he goes to a winner, he becomes a cancer and ruins the entire program. I don't think Kansas City wants to bring in a guy like D-Hop because he does have cancerous traits wherever he goes. I don't know if he's a cancer as a teammate or as a football player, but like the remnants of his, presence on a football team always ends up cancerous.
I agree.
Yeah, he's on the way. He's on the way down. I'm not. Really...
I mean, let's say the Titans lose this game, 1-5, right? You don't think D-Hop's going to be on the move? I do.
I mean, who's going to pay the piper to pay $10 million for a guy with a half a knee? Let's be honest. I think the Chiefs brought in Juju Smith-Schuster because, one, they don't have to teach him this scheme. So going back to the topic, they don't have to teach him the scheme. Two, he's a really good football player, and his knee is fine. He didn't fit in the Patriots scheme. That's completely, but like I think he's here to stay. I would hold on. Like Juju's a very valuable asset because, like, once again, there are receivers out there like Michael Thomas who are viable options, and the Chiefs are like, no, we're all right. We got Juju, right? If
Michael Thomas though,
yeah. I mean, what about Michael Thomas?
He's out there, but that guy hasn't.
If a team desperately needs
3 games since '86,
if a team desperately needs wide receiver help, he is best available.
Yeah, he is.
They're like, no, we're all right. We got Juju. So that shows that the team is invested in Juju. And until I see otherwise, I'm going to invest in Juju as well.
Well, keep in mind, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins' contract, his cap hit for this year is $4.5 million. So it's not like Hopkins is going to, cause you to break the bank if you want to use him as a late season rental.
How long is his contract though, and what's the?
It's going to be this year, next year, and then as of 2025. He can void out 25, 26, and 27. But next year he's going to be an $18.3 million cap hit per overthecap.com.
Yeah. So he's only 4.5 rental. That's not bad at all. Even though his knee's kind of shot. But I mean,
by comparison, Juju is 1.2 million. So I mean, it makes you wonder what kind of deal could they maybe bring somebody in on? Because if you remember, Hollywood Brown was very incentive laden on his deal, so it's not like he's eating up a lot of cap space down there in Kansas City either. While he's all laid up and recovering from his injuries, because if I remember right, he had incentives of like 500 yards, 600 yards, 700 yards, 3 touchdowns, right? 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns. So I mean, they really did a whole lot to make him cap friendly in case he got hurt. And if he actually succeeded, he'd make a pretty good, boatload of cash.
Yeah, I mean, I think if the Titans lose, I think he's going. But I mean, it is a risky pick, but I think the Chiefs would do it. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster, I get what you're saying. I agree that he knows the system and stuff. I just can't trust him. Big says Bigsby has been chirping away at the ETN workload. He has been, but that's because ETN has been popping his shoulder, back and forth each game. I don't think, dude. Are you guys on this Bigsby train? I am not on this train. I think ETN is the way better running back.
I'll let you go first here, Andrew.
Bigsby, I'd say, is a real nice, like if you're starting to get to the second half of the season, like a priority stash or a handcuff, just in case something happens to ETN. But like I said, I mean, we're all focusing on because of what he did last week, but that's more of a blip on the radar as opposed to what you can expect from him all the time. So I'm going to say, he's definitely caught my eye, but I'm not rushing out and flipping over other people to get him.
Let's hear it. Here comes the bashing.
Oh, yeah, I hated him last year. He's looked good. this year, which pains me because like I had a heck of a lot of them last year and none of them this year, and it only makes sense, right? It only makes fucking sense.
Dude, he's looking way better than his rookie year.
With that being said, I mean, like as long as Travis Etienne's present, I think Travis Etienne is a far superior talent, and once he gets right, if he does get right, I'd much rather be invested there. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree on that. Pat's O-line is like awful classic rookie QB starting week 6. Nothing special. It's gonna be. I can't wait to see him, but I think it's gonna be rough for sure. Danny Dimes underrated. I have to sit here live on the show and say that Danny Dimes is underrated, and I was completely wrong. I thought he was gonna kill Neighbors and he wouldn't be good, and all of a sudden he's just. It's like the Josh Allen transformation. Look who's here. The man, the myth, the legend. Let me add you in, bro. I got to add a camera slide here. I got you. Chef in the building. What's good, my guy? I'm going to put you. Let's just go right here. What's cracking? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, we got you in here.
What a beautiful human being. What's up, Chef?
Hey, how are you, gentlemen? You look amazing.
Good. It's good to see you, buddy. Guys, if you guys don't know who Chef is, listen. This guy brings, an incredible amount of fantasy football knowledge. He brings a lot of positivity, a lot of joy to the game, and he's one of my favorite human beings on the planet. And he cooks, and I like food. I'm 6'8", 320 pounds.
I'm so hungry right now. Bring me the chef shit.
Oh,
God,
bro, I got. Okay, hold on. I got to send you guys a picture right now of what I just ate because my wife just cooked up a storm.
How do I get can I change where the comments drop, Disco, or no, like that? Can't, huh?
Yeah, you can, but I'd have to look at the screen to coach you up on that. If you go to is there another option next to the box you currently have it set up on?
There's classic, bubble.
No, not that. I'm talking about the visual camera setup.
Default camera. We can do the rounded corners.
No. Okay. So at the bottom, right under the frame, you know how it gives you different templates of cameras or different stream.
Yeah.
Pick one of the other ones, and it'll allow you to have it where it doesn't cover our faces.
I have 8 slots taken, all the max.
Pick one of the other ones.
This one.
Literally, so at the bottom left, it is if you're looking at the bottom left,
yeah,
is 1. Click on 1, then 2, then now 2, click on 2.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, looked like not this one, but the one before that was the best.
This one?
No, the one where all 4 of us were on the screen.
This one, yeah, but I'm talking about the comments. See, it pop a comment, it goes right over your face. But
I mean, my face isn't that pretty. I mean, you are blocking Chef's face. But
my face is as ugly as the Patriots offense. It can be blocked quite often.
Wow!
Shout out to Wendy. How we doing? I see you in chat. So, Chef, welcome in, man, for the first time. Let the people know where they can find you, what you got going on. Welcome in, bro.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's always good to chat with you guys. I'm sorry that I was lacking on actually hopping into streams, but mostly I'm hidden in the cave. I do try to get into YouTube here and there. I've been trying to actually do a lot of player profiler breakdowns in my own sense. I'm just doing a lot of film studies, trying to actually catch up on players from college. So I'll be putting together a draft kit already soon for 2025, just so I want to be the first one up on it. And then, I'll keep you guys looped in. But most of it's coming from the place to be for fantasy football, which is with the number 2 and FFB. But yeah, I appreciate anyone who's ever willing and interested. You can always ask me any questions. If I don't know it, I'll take the time to learn it for you.
Got you. All right, here, I'm gonna grab this real quick. Let me see here. I'm trying to find Chef's Twitter real quick. Of course, I can't.
By the way, Andrew's got that set up in the kitchen already. Looks good.
Yeah, this was actually at the desk I usually use for work, and it's just going back behind me there. So yeah, it's actually the first stream I've done in the rental place that I'm in these days. So, but nice. We can talk about that off air.
You also look like you dropped 20 pounds, buddy. You're looking healthy.
Yeah, I've been tracking what I've eaten for about the last 35 days and keeping it clean to the point where actually there was one day about 3 weeks ago I had a headache because I hadn't eaten enough sugar. And holy, I'm having a sugar headache. I mean, I've cleaned it out a lot.
Well, it looks good, buddy. It looks good on you.
Thanks, man. And by the way, if you want to find me on X, Put the graphic with your name, throw an @ in front of it, and say hi, because that's where I am. Just saying.
All right, got you. Let's catch up with chat here. He says, wait, should I flex Algier over Dell? I'm going Tank Dell, but I like Algier as a flex. We got a lot to catch up on. Let's run before through here. Chef is in. Is Bucky Irving a must start? Do you guys think Bucky Irving is a must start flex play?
No.
It depends on what
the floor is good.
looks like, but
If you're desperate.
If you're desperate, I think it's an okay flex play. I think I have a nice floor. Gentlemen, here we go. Cap for live 14-man PPR league flex spot. Gibson, Adonai Mitchell, Schultz. Thoughts on Vidal? I'm going on Antonio Gibson in 14-man league, 100%. Who are you guys going with here?
I'm going Gibby as well, just because of the fact we know Ramondre's already been ruled out, and with New England putting a new quarterback in, they may have to lean on the run a little bit to get things started. So I'm going Gibson out of those three.
You agree? Is that well? What are you going with Disco? Yeah.
If you followed me in the offseason, you would know that I said that I don't know what language Kamani Vidal is, but it's the direct translation for Isaiah Spiller 2.0. If you followed me in the offseason, I would have said that. You would have heard it. You would have avoided all of the Kamani Vidal fucking headache. But obviously nobody's perfect. It is what it is. Vidal, that's how I feel about him. Isaiah Spiller 2.0. With that being said, I think Schultz is in a prime position to have a really, really good breakout matchup this week and good breakout game. I'm going to lean towards Dalton Schultz. I like Gibson. Don't love the matchup, but like if we look at the vacated targets, Patriots are kind of susceptible to the tight end position. They are susceptible to just overall completions down the field. I think Schultz is the third best option. Like we're all looking at Hutchinson or John Mechie when Dalton Schultz is a very viable threat and we haven't seen him be significant. And this is the week we're about to see him become significant.
Ooh, okay. I think I take the safe play with Gibson. I'm definitely not playing a tight end over a running back in flex. But
I like to get weird.
He likes to get weird. He's a tight end whisperer too, man. I'm telling you, he's called the tight end for like the past 3 or 4 weeks. It's fucking crazy. I got to give it to him.
80 is a good ceiling play, though.
Who?
80 is a good ceiling play. Like Gibson would be a good floor, but I'd go Adonai Mitchell for the ceiling because like we know that Pittman's out, so they're going to have to.
Pittman just said today he's playing through the back injury. By the way,
he's going to play.
He's out there. So if you guys didn't know that, check your updates right now. Michael Pittman said he's out there playing, but still, I had Adonai on my sleeper video for today, so I liked him, but not with Pittman back, not with Josh Downs back healthy too as well.
Is Jonathan Taylor playing?
No, he's ruled out.
Okay,
he's ruled out. It's going to be I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name.
Sermon and Goodson.
That's it, Trey Sermon. Thank you.
So Anthony Richardson's going to be the starting running back. Sweet.
Yep. If he plays, he got downgraded to questionable today too.
I literally just dropped Caleb Williams because Sleeper said he was healthy, so I hope that's not the case.
Well, we'll got to see on that one. He says, what to do with Devontae Adams? I'm hearing Bills trade talks. Dude, there's been trade talks for everywhere. Devontae is killing me. I'm not even talking about that guy.
All I'll say is that it would be a pretty good fit for him because with Stephon Diggs out, Devontae Adams going in would be a nice, would be a piece in the same spot. But the problem is I don't think Buffalo can afford him because Stephon Diggs left the Bills in $30 million of dead cap on his way out the door to Houston. So situationally and positionally, yeah, great fit. Financially, no.
I agree. What do you guys think Devontae Adams plays his next snap at if you had to guess?
In Vegas. He's not going anywhere. It's a woozy, it's a wazi, it's fugazi, fugazi, it's fairy dust.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're the Chiefs, you got to throw something at him. Just try to get him to your team. I mean, they need him so desperately.
I'm going to say that he plays his next snap as a Pittsburgh Steeler. I don't think he's going to get traded in division. That's too much. What do you think, Andrew? Where's he playing?
Yeah, I didn't mean to say it, but right now the Rams are real desperate for a wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean,
but can you imagine actually having Matthew Stafford with Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and Devontae Adams?
Yeah, it'd be fucking ridiculous.
But Rams have not had a significant draft pick in like the last 5 years. Obviously, they got Jalen Verse this year.
They haven't had a first-round draft pick in the last 7 years until this one when they took Jared Verse out of Florida State in the first round. It's like 6 or 7 years. They just sold him off.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like what it comes down to is like, are they willing to invest in another wide receiver, even though they have two formidable wide receivers, and like they need to get younger. They have to get younger because they've given up all their they put all their eggs in one basket for that one Super Bowl. Obviously, it paid off. So very seldomly does it do that for that. But like realistically speaking, nobody wants to deal with the Devontae Adams salary cap hit. Nobody wants to deal with the drama, the nonsense, and nobody wants to pay the piper for 32-year-old, 31-year-old wide receiver.
32, you're correct.
Yeah. Nobody wants to pay that asking price. And Vegas is not going to make it easy on any team to get him. I don't think Devontae Adams is going to go anywhere. I think it's just going to be a tragic situation. And, you know, if you're able to sell him high, by all means, sell him high, because like people like to tell themselves stories in their heads. I personally would sell him high. I'm trying to right now. I literally sold high on Ramondre Stevenson and bought low on Devontae Adams. And like, I haven't been able to play him once. It's been terrible.
I mean, I don't know what to do at this point. You can't even sell him. No one's really going to buy him. So, I mean,
Chef,
what are you going to get?
With Adams, I mean, you kind of have to like give him, like, man, it's such a rough one. You don't really want to sell because if he has at least one spike week, then you can try to turn around, like pair it up with like a pick and try to tier up if you can.
Yeah.
And then also just riding what you're saying, you can't put him in your starting lineup to trust him. We're going right back to Aiden O'Connell now, what's he going to do? I mean, he's at like a 50% completion percentage.
Aiden O'Connell started to catch a little fire at the end there last year. Let's give the man some credit. He got thrown to the wolves.
Aiden O'Connell looked good with Devontae Adams down the stretch last.
He did.
And for what it's worth, there's several reports that say Devontae Adams wanted Aiden O'Connell. I think Aiden O'Connell is the best situation in Vegas for them. But with that being said, let's go Zamir White.
Oh man! Oh my God, Zamir! Dude, Zamir's on every wire right now. There is, even in 12-man leagues. It's crazy.
I mean, if he's there, I'll pick him up. That's all I'm saying.
Who would you rather have, Zamir White? Let me see this. This is a good question for you here. I think he's available on the wire here.
We Sam Kraft better than Laporta rest of the season? No, sir. No, and I called Kraft as tight end one. Nobody's better than Laporta rest of the season. Look at my wife. My wife's comments. That's how you know she pays attention, man. She says after week 6. God bless her.
Okay, here you go. Let's see. I think it's here. I have so many leagues I can't figure out which one it is. So Zamir White is on the waiver wire. Would you rather have Zamir White or Jalen Wright?
Zamir White.
Who would you guys rather have? Right? That's a tough one, right?
I think I'm going Jalen Wright. It's just like I feel like at least when he gets a chance, it's straight up and you know what's going to happen. With Zamir, it's still a toss-up. I mean, Amir Abdullah is getting more production right now.
I'm going to go with Zamir White just because Alexander Madison doesn't scare me. He's frankly a colossal disappointment. I mean, he had that opportunity in Minnesota last year, the year before, and just didn't do a damn thing with it.
He had it last week.
Yeah, he did nothing with it. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we've been chatting up. Let's get to the chat here. Roy says start 3, Reed, Deontay Johnson, Brian Thomas Jr., Darius Slayton. I will let Chef first question here. I'll let him pop the first one here. Who you got on this question?
Well, the secondary is hurting right now with the Bears. It looks like Brister is going to be out, so it's hard to bench Brian Thomas Jr., especially with the production he's got. Reed and Deontay Johnson, I mean, I would say those are automatic starts. Laporta, if you have to put him in out of them, I'm probably still going to bench him unless it's a tight end premium. So I would just go Reed, Deontay Johnson, Brian Thomas Jr. right off the bat.
I agree with that. I think you do too, Disco. Yeah.
Reed, BTJ, Slayton, Laporta.
Oh, okay. Slayton over Deontay. A little spice. I like that. Who you going, Andrew?
Laporta over Slayton.
Okay, so I'm a tight end. I'm going Laporta just because the Detroit offense is pretty high powered. The receivers I want Brian Thomas Jr., Deontay, and I will take Reed over Slayton just because I like what Green Bay's been doing recently. So that's where I'm going.
I like that. All right, we're catching up with so many chats here. We're falling behind. Let's switch it up here for a minute, chat. What do you guys like? Give me any sleeper tertiary plays, crazy pickups for drafters here. We've been just going straight questions this whole time. I want to get back to a little pickups that we like here. What would be? I'll start off. I'll go with Chef again here. What's a great sleeper thing you like from drafters or underdog or whatever you want this week for a pick and play?
So I haven't gotten a chance to probe into him too much, but I'd be looking still for a follow-up performance from Leggett because he had that week or he got injured a little bit last week. So I think that he's like a good play. Anything that's for receptions or big yardage for him, I think he's gonna have a breakout week. Definitely picking anything over for Bears Jags. I think that's going to be a shootout. So I would pick anyone who's going to be point scorers, especially for Caleb. I think this is going to be another 300-yard passing game for him.
So do I. I like that.
Other than that, I would probably even invest into Swift because it feels like he can run all over the Jaguars. I'd have to do some more deep dives and kind of get into it, but for the most part, I'm just looking for anything that's a shootout right now. I'm definitely investing into Lamar this week. He should crush.
Well, you go for the total yards on him, the rush plus receiver, rush plus passing?
I would do the total with Lamar for sure.
277. I like that as well. Okay. What do you got, Disco? What do you got, Andrew? You guys got any plays that you absolutely love as just straight locks that are kind of different plays that we haven't talked about?
Let's go with Andrew first because I'm just wrapping up one of these drafts.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to find one. Nothing really is just jumping off the page at me here. But if you want to go real deep and you like kickers, Chad Ryland, the Cardinals, made 3 field goals last week in the win over the 49ers. Matt Prater was out last week. He might be again this week. If you need a kicker, he might be worth a shot. So I'm going deep down the bottom of the barrel on this one.
Okay.
Since you saw that in person, you should know all about it.
God, Jake Moody decided to go heads up and just fucking ruin the season. Man. He might even get fired, man. He might get cut.
I mean, your other kicker almost killed himself yesterday, too.
I know, right? Decided to do the same thing. What the fuck? What are we doing? Yeah. So I'm going to go to Disco here. Dude, look at these props, man. How can I not smash a Jalen Polk 25 yards, Demario Douglas 31, or Kendrick Bourne 18? Are the Patriots this bad?
No. Jacoby Brissett was that bad, and the offensive line has been that bad.
This is a game where they could be down and pass volume could be heavy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Demario Douglas is going to absolutely pop. I like what we've seen out of him, and all that they've been missing is like the deep ball ability. And Drake May, like, he's him. He can run, scramble, buy some time to throw it. I think something that not a lot of people are talking about is how free Drake May's rushing yards are. Yeah,
that's one of my favorite props as well.
That's a very, very, very free prop smashing over there.
I agree. I mean, he came in and rushed for like 12 yards in his first 2 snaps.
Yeah. And right now it's what, 17.5?
26.
Yeah, still, I love it. He'll get that in the first quarter.
I like that as well. Let's kind of channel out. We got like 15 minutes here, chat left. I got to get some dinner here. I'm going to channel out some questions here differently. I see you in there. Bink, what's up, my man? Talking to people. What's up, Wendy? Shout out to you. The women of fantasy football. Thanks for having me in the league. It's amazing. Dodger Dog says, what's the over-under on Lamar Jackson getting me 40-plus this week? I'd say it's going to be close, man. Probably about 28 to 32 range for me. Any moves I should make? 10-man full PPR QB, Jaden Daniels, K9, Mason, A-Chain. Time to sell Mason if you can, I would say. 10-man league, you try and tier up to the best player you can. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do there always. You guys have any recommendations?
Is Christian Watson back this week?
They dropped his projection back down, so I don't know what's going on. He was at a 10, now he's at a 6. He says he's questionable.
Okay. I'm not answering Wissam's question just yet because I'm just still looking at tertiary plays. I like Dobbs and I like Michael Wilson receiving yards. But yeah, I'll let somebody else answer this question.
Michael Wilson? What's that?
It's at 38.5. And it's such a great matchup.
38.5. You like Michael Wilson?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see this.
Look at the average.
Yeah. Okay.
Michael Wilson is playing very well.
Yeah, he said 78, 38. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, okay.
Packers give up 164.80 receiving yards to the wide receiver position. So if Marvin Harrison Jr. is not going to get all 164.80, next best up is Michael Wilson. It was never Greg Dortch, by the way.
I know. Greg Dortch didn't do shit like I thought he would, bro.
It was never Greg Dortch. It's Michael Wilson.
But you also have to throw a factor in here is that Zay Jones was eligible to come back after his 5-game suspension for violating the league's
PED or whatever. the fucking
no,
thing
not
was.
PED, personal conduct policy, but he's hampered by a hamstring, so he won't be out there on Sunday, according to Josh Weinfest, one of the local beat reporters down here, who's pretty solid. So yeah, you don't have to worry about Zay Jones coming back, but he will be a factor possibly going forward. So you might see a little bit of erosion on the numbers for Dortch and maybe Wilson. It'd be interesting to see how Arizona balances that out with Jones coming back in maybe as early as next week.
God, I want my helmet. They're like sick. What would you guys recommend for this? I would just say any 10-man team question for Wisdom is our answer would pretty much always be try and get to the best player at each position. I mean, 10-mans are always so stacked. So it's hard to even maneuver trades because I played in a couple 10-mans like 10 years ago, and it's just everyone's stacked. It's so hard to make moves.
Are we expecting Mason to play?
Mason had an AC joint sprain last night. They say he's going to be fine after the 10-day, mini bye. So,
because if he's fine, like I would definitely want to keep him. If not, I'd consider maybe packaging him and like Shaheed to try and get like in the Swift kind of area, like or you can even like maybe try to get Pollard at plus some for that as well.
I would try and get, when I'm looking at it, I mean, I would try and get a steady running back. You have a lot of injury kind of prone running backs there. So, I mean, you K9, yeah, he's nasty. I love K9. He's always kind of hurt. Yeah, he can miss 2-3 games here every now and then. A-Kane, we know my fucking guy is always hurt. I mean, your wide receiver room is solid. So, I mean, you CD and JJ. I mean, what the fuck? You don't need anything there. I'd try and get a top tier running back.
If healthy next week, by the way, for week 7, I'm just going to go out and say, if healthy, Devon Achane will be the RB1 next week.
Oh, the Colts is going to shatter him. Yes. Dodger Dog talking about the fight. 10-1. Lamar going over. What's up, Chef? What's up, South? How we doing? If I missed your guys' comments, man, we're talking. Sorry, guys. I know there's a lot in there. It's hard to catch up on them all. South 77. When you start Slayton, Moss, or Mixon, I'm going Mixon easy. I go Moss, Mixon, Slayton, Moss for me. What do you guys think on that one?
Mixon, Slayton, Moss.
Yep.
I think we're all in agreement there.
Yep.
I agree. Oh, here's Chef's Twitter, guys. If you guys do not know it, I dropped a link in there. Make sure you smash my guy a follow. You can catch Andrew's link also in the description as well for Twitter. And Big Draft Energy's YouTube is in there as well. And his Twitter's linked to that also. So you guys can find those links to follow the family here that is on the show today. Cat for Life. Pittman is back. Yeah, I know. And down. So we went over that. Can you guys give me a suggestion about this team? 12-man PPR, Brock Purdy, Brees, JT, Gibbs. My God, that running back room is fucking disgusting. How did you get that in a 12-man, bro? This is a dynasty. Ayuk, MHJ, Cooper Kupp, Ferguson, Ridley, Juju, Bucky, Mostert, Worthy, Anthony Richardson. This team should be winning a championship. What do you guys think? Any suggestions? What he's looking for? I guess I'd be looking to get.
I would pair Jonathan Taylor and Brandon Ayuk for an elite wide receiver. You could get an AJ Brown for dirt cheap right now because he's coming off of the injury. And when Cooper Kupp comes back, he'll be competitive and really, really good.
Yeah, Juju is your dumper on the roster. So if one of your other league mates drops something of real high value that you want, Juju's the guy you're going to cut loose to get him. That's the only real value Juju has on that team right now is to be the dumper.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chef?
Man, it's
for a
just
12-man, this team is stacked.
Yeah, those running backs like you're saying they're stacked. Purdy's going to be really nice for you. A-Rich is going to be those huge spike weeks. You're kind of just stuck with this Kupp, Ridley, tandem, Juju. You're just hoping for hits. You really need to convert that into an actual solid wide receiver. Might even honestly consider just selling MHJ at his highest point right now and just see if I can split that up into 2 other pieces. That way, if it all comes to break out later, at least you're going to have Kupp fully crushing it. Ridley will still give you the spikes, and you don't have to rely on Juju. And then you'd have 2 more guys like maybe Devonta Smith and try to get Waddle low and see if you can get a draft pick on top of it.
I mean, he also has the insurance policy of Mostert and Worthy. I mean,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
I see Bucky Irvin there, Calvin Ridley. Like, the moment he has any sort of performance, I'd sell high. But, selling MHJ shouldn't be an option. I would say tier up. Like, Ayuk is useless, but people are desperate. And then I also feel like Jonathan Taylor, he's like one of those people where people are very high on him, and he's just very inconsistent, whether it be injury and whatnot. Just pair them up. What do you think, Chef? those get rid of those two, you can get something pretty spectacular for those guys.
That is true.
I mean, there's so much power on here, bro. It's
and
crazy.
they are dead weight. What do you think, Andrew?
I'm sorry, run that by me. I had something pop off here in the background.
So we were saying this guy's got a stacked team. His receiving core is riddled with injuries right now. Injuries and useless players. Marvin Harrison Jr. is still there. Cooper Kupp's still there. But I was telling him to pair up because he has Brees and Gibbs still, and he also has Mostert in the background. I was telling him to pair up Jonathan Taylor and Ayuk and upgrade to an elite wide receiver, because the moment Cooper Kupp comes back next week, because that's what all signs are pointing towards, I think he should be fine.
Yeah, I can see that happening. So that would make sense. And yeah, because you still have Brees, you still have Gibbs, you still have Bucky, who's probably going to start ascending after this week. Monster
worthy.
Yeah. You got a solid pair of quarterbacks on that team. So yeah, if you can do something to bolster the wide receivers a little better, you go in the right direction on that.
I think he could get AJ Brown for that.
I think you can get AJ Brown for that. I do.
Or DK Metcalf at fuck.
I'm not trading JT for DK though.
You could easily get Tyreek Hill for that currently.
Tyreek Hill is a good buy low. That's a good play, but I wouldn't give that much away.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill's a good buy low right now because no one's really thinking about what's going on in Miami. But when Tua comes back,
I'd be trying to package Ridley and Ayuk and try and get a Tyreek Hill right now. Or I wouldn't give JT. That's too much power.
Is there anybody on the Tennessee offense that we like at this point? Because we talked about Trent White, Ridley,
Pollard
has been great.
Pollard, yep.
If there isn't Pollard, is it anybody else? I mean, D-Hop's being whiny. It's like,
I think they're going to straight up feed D-Hop this game a massive amount of targets to try and get him some trade value. I really do.
I got him in a bunch of DFS lineups, him and Ridley. It's a great matchup. And in owner's box DFS right now, Will Levis is only $4,900.
Oh, it's so cheap.
Just to put it in perspective, Drake May is $5,000.
So cheap.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, we got 5 minutes left here. I'm gonna go get some dinner here. What's up, Jared? I'm gonna run through chat real quick. Miss Disco, I see you in there. How you doing? I'm way behind on chat. My bad, guys. Jalen Glenn, he says, who do you think has the better game, London, Kirk, or Allen? I'm going Drake, London. Who do you guys think here?
No, that's not the question. It's who has the better game in London?
Oh,
England?
Christian Kirk or Allen?
Keenan Allen. It's Christian Kirk.
Ooh. I'm going Keenan Allen.
Yeah,
I'm high on Keenan Allen.
He's due.
Yes.
Guesses for the wins this week. Here's mine: Bears, Bucks, Ravens, Packers, Titans, Texans, Eagles, Broncos, Steelers, Falcons, Cowboys. Oh shit! Bengals, Jets. Oh shit! Oh my God! I like Bears. I like Bucks. I like the Ravens. I like the Packers. I like the Colts to beat the Titans. I like the Texans to win. I like the Eagles to win. I like the Broncos to lose to the Chargers. I like the Steelers to smash the Raiders. I like the Falcons to win. Cowboys, I'm taking the Lions. I like the Bengals to slide out of 1-4, and I think the Jets come out with a new coach, and I think they win. Every team gets fired up with new coaches. Let's go with that. Let's end with that. Who do you guys got per week here, per game? Let me hear him. I like that. That's a great question, Wisdom.
Somebody.
I'll let Chef go first.
I was gonna say you're pretty much spot on there. Honestly, I didn't disagree with a single call you made there.
Oh wow, I got them all. Look at 100%. But write it down. Let's go to Vegas. Let's go. Who you got, Andrew? Every game this week. Let me hear it.
I'd say, what you see there on the screen is pretty much right, except the Colts over the Titans, like you talked about. Otherwise, I really can't find a fault in this. I mean, unless the Broncos decides to show up again before the Call of Duty expansion or the new one comes out here in a couple weeks. So
can't wait.
He signed a whole new thing with it and everything. I'm FaZe Murray back at it.
Fucking
Disco's always got something different. What do you think?
This is a Tyler Murray sell high window. Do it now, quickly, before the new COD comes out in 2 weeks.
I'm here for it. I'm going Jacksonville. I'm going Arizona. I'm going Philly. I'm going New England.
He's going with the Drake May win. I
I'm going
love the Pats Nation.
I'm going Indianapolis. I'm going New Orleans. I'm going Washington. I'm going Denver. I'm going Vegas. With the upset, I'm going Atlanta. I'm going Detroit. I'm going Cincinnati. And I'm going Buffalo.
Wow. Okay. Mixed it up a little bit. Full PPR, one question here. Slayton, Shaheed, Amari Cooper. And I'm going Slayton. This one. I like the matchup too good.
I would pick Shaheed if Derek Carr was healthy, but I got to go with Slayton on that one. Cooper's been a disappointment. McConkey, he might do something, but I'm not. I think Slayton's the better option out of all those pile. And I would say Pitts over Ferguson just because Atlanta looked pretty good last week, so I'm going to go with it.
I agree.
I'm going with Ferguson, and I'm going with Shaheed.
Who you going with, Chef?
It's a safe floor. I think Shaheed's probably still the ceiling play for me. Like, I do see Rattler throwing deep. The guy always liked to throw the ball deep in college. He had a great arm with it. He's going to be moving. Yeah, he's going to be on the move, so it's going to create more space for those wide receivers on those broken plays. So, I mean, it's still something he can make. Like, all it really takes is 2 passes, right? 2 passes that connect. It could be like 100 yards and a touchdown, you know? And then I'm probably sticking with Pitts. Like, he actually looked really good last week for the first time, I feel like, all year.
I agree.
How about this? Let me spice one up for you here before we head out here. Who scores more points this week for the panel? Will Levis or Spencer Rattler?
I'm gonna go shit right now because irritable Austin is a bitch. I just farted on mute and it was terrible.
Is that why you were going like this?
Oh my! It was man. All right, I love you guys. Will Levis. Bye.
Will Levis. Yeah, who do you guys got? Will Levis or Rattler? And we'll end it on that. And chat, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys. It was just an hour show, just to banter it out, have some people on, talk some fantasy football. So who are you guys taking here, Chef? Who are you taking, Levis or Rattler?
I'm going to believe in Rattler.
I have it, and my dynasty is super flex.
I'm also going Spencer Rattler, too, just because I think New Orleans has better weapons than what Tennessee has.
Okay. I mean, the matchup versus the Colts is great, though, man. The Colts are so terrible.
All they have to do is lean on Pollard, though, right? I mean, realistically.
Yeah, I know that could happen, too. And Beers, I get that, yeah. And I think the Saints will be playing from behind, so it's a better option probably.
I like Pollard averaging like 4 or 5 receptions almost now.
He's been killing it. When we were talking about before the season, Pollard looks healthy and back. Coming off the bye, I think he's going to smash. I have him as RB8 this week. So he's averaging 3.5 receptions a game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Spears is still getting receptions too. So even as Levis is like, probably having plays break down because the Colts are somehow going to get pressure on him. That he'll just dump those passes down there. I think they're just going to play more shallow because the thing is, like with Levis, it feels like he knows his job is almost on the line at this point. Like,
it is. Mason Rudolph might take this fucking job. I'll be so mad, dude. God. All right, guys. Well, I got the wife here. What's up, everybody? Say hi. I got dinner going right now at 5:30. Disco's got to take a shit. He just gassed on stream. We are going to, if you guys got anything, so if you guys want to check Chef out, his Twitter is right here. My guy does amazing content, amazing work. Make sure you go smash him a follow on X. If you guys are still hanging around in chat here, I know we lost about 15 people since they were ending it. And I think I have Andrew's YouTube here as well. So if you guys want to check these out, smash a sub to the guys, smash a follow to them. Great having you guys on, guys. And next Friday, man, I just do like an hour show, hour and a half Friday, just messing around. You guys are always welcome back. Thank you guys for coming, and let the people know where they can find you before we head out here.
See my name, putting that in front of it, message me on X. Hi.
There you go.
That's it.
TBT.
It took me a long time to think of my username. It was like hours and hours. It's one of those things I did while I was sitting on the toilet after eating Scrabble tiles and hoping my next poop didn't spell disaster.
All right, Wisdom. Thanks for hanging out, brother. Have a good one. He says Rattler 2, the Dice Man. If we missed your guys' question, we will be live Saturday, Sunday doing our legit answer question show. This is kind of just a mess around and hang out, get some people to talk some fantasy football show. And thank you guys for joining, man. I got to get some dinner. I am freaking starving, guys.
Go eat, buddy. Hit that like and subscribe on your way out, everybody.
Good luck this week.
Peace out, guys.